Similar to me, in the past few years, you may have tried to optimize your time and craft the perfect schedule in the infinite amount of activities that you could be doing, despite the finite nature of your life, as Oliver Burkeman would put it in Time Management for Mortals. And yet, despite your constant quest to optimize your schedule, you found out that feeling of unsatisfactoriness and feeling like you're not in control of what you do during a day has not gone away. And in this quest that you've pursued, you may have used the calendar as one of the tools to seek that optimization of time, blocking time in your schedule, making sure that deep work was accounted for, and trying to control every minute of your life to feel more in control and not wasting your time. At the same time, this may not have fulfilled your promise. In this video, we are looking at just one more of those tools in the toolkit that you can use, and that is Notion Calendar, which was previously Cron, which was a calendar app acquired by Notion relatively recently and now rebranded to Notion Calendar. And this is a tool that syncs with Google Calendar for now, and that also displays your Notion pages that have a date and a calendar view or a timeline view all in one place in your calendar, so that the calendar can be your source of truth for scheduling days, weeks, months, and years over time. From your Notion workspace, you can access Notion Calendar from the left sidebar menu at the very bottom, and when you click on Calendar, you will be prompted to continue with Google. You need to have a Google Calendar account to use Notion Calendar currently, and Outlook doesn't work yet, although as the team said, it is in the pipeline to be developed and integrated within Notion Calendar. Whenever you sign up to Notion Calendar through Google Authentication, you can then add as many calendars as you like to the Notion Calendar, and that's what the interface looks like. And you will see this calendar right here. On the left sidebar menu, you can see a quick glance of the current month, and you can scroll through different months right there. Below that, you can see all the calendars that you connected, in particular the Google Calendar accounts, and when you open them, you will see the specific calendars that you have within those accounts. You can also assign different colors to calendars by clicking on the calendar itself, and then here you can change the color. That would be reflected in Google Calendar. And besides the Google Calendar accounts that you can connect automatically, you can then also connect your Notion workspaces. And in this case, for example, here is one of the Notion workspaces that I have connected, and the only one so far. And when I expand it, I can see the databases that I want displayed in my Notion calendar. Some of them are hidden, which I can unhide quickly right here. Some of them are shown, as you can see, for example, writing database and recurring transactions. And when I go to my settings here at the top right corner, I can then set up all my settings for the calendar in terms of notifications and how I want it to be displayed. And I can also add Notion databases and workspaces here. So from this setting, I can connect additional Notion workspaces. And from the left sidebar menu, I can also click on the three dots and add Notion databases from the workspace that you're looking at here. When it comes to the databases available to be displayed in Notion Calendar, they are only the ones that have a timeline view or a calendar view, or both of them. If those views have filters, those filters are going to be applied, so only data displayed in those views is going to be shown in Notion Calendar. And for example, here is a goals database, and I have a timeline view, so this would be a good candidate to open in Calendar, as you can see here from this button at the top right corner of any timeline view or calendar view that you have in Notion. And importantly, to display a specific entry or Notion page in Notion Calendar with a time frame, for example, for meetings, you need to use only one date property with a start and an end time. So in this example, you can see this is the goals database, and for each goal, I have a start date and then the end date as a separate property. So this wouldn't work well in Notion Calendar, because Notion Calendar only bases the time frame of an event on one date property. So in this case, to display this properly in Notion Calendar, I will need to add the end date right here, like so, and that would span across the different days that are the start and the end date in this property specifically. And the same for calendar events like meetings. If I want to include the start and the end time of a meeting, I need to do that all in one single date property with the start and end date. So in that case, it could be the start date. I can include time, and in here I can select, for example, 11 a.m. and then I can toggle on end date same day, maybe at 12 p.m. and this will be properly displayed in Notion Calendar as an event with a time, with a start date and end date. When it comes to pages in Notion that do not have any time within a date property, they will be displayed as all-day events, just like this. For example, as you can see here, I'm looking at the writing database and the recurring transactions database. And the writing database is a content management system where I mark the content that I publish with the publication date, and that publication publication date doesn't have a time. So in this example, you can see that on Saturday, the 20th of January, this is the data from the writing database that is published on January 20th. And if I want to open it in Notion, I can just click this button here, and that will open the Notion page that is connected to that event directly here. And the same for recurring transactions. So I'm using a database to keep track of recurring transactions, expenses, and the date of the next renewal. So in that case, like as in this example, you can see that domain.com is going to renew on the 21st of January, and it appears right here as an all-day event. I can open it in Notion then and update the date to the next recurring cycle, which will then update the event in Notion calendar accordingly. So you can see how this Notion calendar can become your centralized place where you can manage all your events, whether it be meetings, it can be tasks, it can be training problems, for example, which here is the periodization calendar, which if I show will display all the training sessions in my calendar. And if I add a time, then they would show up exactly in the time frame that they happen at. Otherwise, they show up as all-day events. And I have more customization to hide or show any Notion database with a calendar or timeline view as I like. In addition, you can see here on the left-hand side of the calendar, I can also utilize multiple time zones. And I can see, for example, GMT+1, currently it is 6, it is 9 p.m. in PST and midnight at East time. So this can be particularly useful if I want to coordinate with other people in different time zones to schedule meetings or particular events directly from one place, that is Notion calendar. And when it comes to scheduling events, you can also quickly share availability via this button here on the right-hand side panel. And if I click this button, I can then define what time frames I'm going to be available at right there, so that people can directly schedule a meeting with me depending on the time frames that I set on my calendar. And you can see here that I can call this as I like, then I can create availability, and I can copy this snippet and send it to the person that I need to coordinate time with, and they can just click on this link, schedule the meeting. That's going to be scheduled in my Notion calendar and hence done. So that's a pretty handy feature that could potentially eliminate the need for any third-party scheduling tools such as Calendly. At the same time, it is a rather simplistic way of managing your scheduling patterns, and you can't add any payment links or advanced features, so it can only work for a certain type of use case, but not for more advanced use cases or scheduling time in your calendar. In addition, I can also add events directly from Notion calendar, and they will be created in Notion. So for example, if I add an event in here, I can select the title, so insert the title right here, test event. I can select the time, specifically the date. I can make it an all-day event if I like that. And then right here, I can select the calendar. It could be one of the Google Calendar accounts that I have connected, or it could be a Notion database connected. For example, I know that writing database is one of those that I have connected from Notion. If I select this database, this will then automatically create the page in Notion, and that's failed. And you can see that I made it an all-day event and it failed the creation of the Notion page. But if I create an event with a specific time frame, instead of making it all day, then I can come here, select the Notion database, and after a few seconds, this will create the Notion page automatically. Then I can open the page in Notion. So it seems like that's a limitation or a current temporary problem that I'm experiencing while recording this video, and that is what the reality is at this time. And you can see that if I want to delete the event that I created, that will delete it in Notion as well, as you can see here. And finally, you can also change the scope view here, day, which is a daily view, which then scrolls automatically as the time during the day goes by. Then you can scroll to different days, and you can also customize the number of days that you want to show in your Notion calendar view, and customize even more settings under the general settings that we saw at the beginning. And whenever there is a event that is created from your Google Calendar account in any of your Google Calendar calendars, you can then easily reference Notion pages from this option here, which allows you to retrieve a list of pages from the Notion workspace that you have connected to your Notion calendar account. And here you can either create a Notion page for that event, or you can navigate through the pages that have a calendar or a timeline view within your Notion workspace or workspaces connected to Notion calendar. And that is everything to know for the introduction to Notion calendar. There are many more advanced features and use cases that can be used within Notion calendar that are outside of the scope of this video, and that I will cover in future upcoming videos. Keep in mind that you can download the desktop app of Notion calendar in Mac or Windows, as well as the mobile app, currently only available for iOS devices and soon also for Android devices. Or you can just use Notion calendar on the browser. And that's it for now. You can find a detailed post in the description of the video. Thanks for watching for now, and see you in the next one.